Greetings. My name is Jeff Fjelstul. I'm the Director of Sales for AGI Suretrack. Today I'm going to discuss how production data innovations lead to traceability advancements. First, I want to talk about who AGI is. We're farm and commercial solutions and systems for storage, handling, structures, processing, and controls in seed, fertilizer, grain, feed, and food. From planning and project management to engineering and manufacturing, we are supplying the world's food infrastructure. AGI Suretrack, grain discovery and supply chain management, hardware and software. AGI Suretrack offers an efficient way to source, secure, and trace the crop characteristics they are looking for. We also deliver supply chain insight and management tools that will help them develop their grower network and more consistently purchase the quality grains and crops they demand. AGI Suretrack is proud to be an SSGA member. What is identity preservation, also known as IP? IP is a practice of maintaining segregation of a field crop raw material from pre-planting, during the growing season, into handling, storage, delivery, through to processing and distribution in order to deliver a specific contracted trait or quality for market. It's a practice of segregating crops throughout the process of production, processing, and distribution in order to deliver a specific trait or quality to the end market. What is traceability? Grain traceability means the ability to identify at any specified stage of the grain supply chain, from farmer to consumer, where the food products come from and where they end up. Traceability is a subset of the identity preservation process. What does IP soybean traceability mean for you? The IP soybean delivers both transparency and quality benefits. It creates an economic benefit for both the grower and the end user customers. It preserves the identity and origin of grain-based products. It begins with seed and continues through the supply chain to match end user value. From the field to you, what you ordered is what you receive with IP soybeans. Now we're going to talk about the IP process. We begin with seed selection. We then go to the field where we focus on the history of the field and the isolation that is created within that field. We then enter grow where we plant, inspect, and harvest the soybean. During harvest, soybeans are then secured and segregated as needed onto farm storage. Once a processor needs the product, it is then transported via various methods to the processor. The IP process in seed, the seed must be certified. Purity must be tested and confirmed. The seed must be stored in a clean environment. Seed certification purpose is to preserve genetic purity and varietal identity. IP certification program assists in preserving the genetic and/or physical identity of a product. Within Suretrack, we have a seed selection tool. We have over 1.5 million field trial studies. We have over 500 plus seed companies in our database. We have over 10 years of data. We capture the traits and resistance of seed. And we also have at our labs an AGI Suretrack testing process that verifies these characteristics. This is a view of the Suretrack seed selection process. Here you can select from crop to field type to focus on the seed that meets your needs. Now we move to our field. The IP process requires history of previous crops. The field must be free of weeds and volunteers. All the field records must be maintained and available for anyone to look at. Isolation standards must be met. Borders and barriers must be present in the field. And the time of planting and flowering must be documented throughout that process. Within AGI Suretrack, we can draw fields or import fields. This is where we begin creating crop plans to help you manage your season. We have a product called Field Data Manager. We utilize this in this process. It has a weather station and a soil probe network. It maximizes your growing potential using real-time data. We create an energy curve. This analyzes information optimally timed for your field activities. We also have a device with our farm mobile puck that integrates and captures field level data. All of this information can be viewed live or as historical data. Within AGI Suretrack, fields are drawn, identified, and field practices are captured as part of the data for that field. Here you can see we've outlined a field in the white, and you can see the barriers that we've created, the isolation of the field itself, and also the information around that field as far as the categorization and the segregation of it. Next, we establish a crop plan to capture data around what happens with that field. From crop type to event planning, Suretrack captures all information seamlessly. Finally, we use energy curve technology to drive field activities such as spraying. We then capture all this data for historical reference. Now we enter the growing process. Within IP, prior to planting, all equipment utilized in this planning process must be cleaned and inspected. Field inspection may take place multiple times during the season. You do have to have a certifying agency to assist you with that. They will look at the value and purity of the items monitored during the field inspection process. At harvest, you must have clean equipment and transportation products. Once again, must be clean to make sure that we continue with that IP soybean environment. Many times there's also a pre-harvest inspection of the field that takes place, and you can document that in one of our tools. Within AGI Suretrack, we utilize our field data manager. This helps you decide when to plant. It does this by measuring soil temperature and moisture. We have a farm mobile puck that records planting, spraying, and harvest data. AGI Compass Grow captures field and equipment inspections. The Pertin 9500 captures IP soybean characteristics. All data, again, of all these items are reportable. On the field area within Suretrack, you can monitor in real time or historically planting activities. We capture this data and let you know what your next event is based on your crop plan that was established. The energy curve is driving those events based on all the factors of weather. Here you can see real-time activities such as spraying, spray rate, product sprayed, time, date. All are captured during this process. You can watch this in live or you can review this in historical manner. The final stage of growing is scouting and field inspections. Within AGI Compass, all these activities can be documented. Photos can be uploaded. Notes can be captured on observations while in the field. Now we lead in the storage of the soybeans. For on-farm storage, once again, clean storage facilities are a requirement of the IP process. There are multiple units for product segregation, and you must be able to maintain records and product identity throughout this storage process. Within AGI Suretrack, we have our foundational product of bin manager. Our bin manager automates conditioning the grain to exact specifications. We monitor temperature, moisture, inventory, and CO2. We all know that optimal conditioning brings the highest profits. One underlying factor of in-condition grain is it's safe. The safety piece is you reduce your bin entry due to out-of-condition grain. If you have out-of-condition grain, you may have to enter your bin, which when you have conditioned grain, you do not have to enter your bin to remove it. Here I'm showing 4 sets of bins, various grains in different states. The red is an out-of-condition situation, the green is in condition, the yellow is nearing condition. We also segregate this grain based on characteristics. The bin manager product automatically manages the condition of the grain to give you the best quality product that processors and consumers demand. Bin manager displays every aspect of grain management: temperature, moisture, activities within the bins such as fan runtime are all captured automatically, with data being stored historically forever. History is available to review with a click of the button. To validate quality and characteristics of the grain, we use a Pertin device that measures items such as oils, weight, moisture, etc. This tool uses NIR technology to give you the most accurate data available today. Once the Pertin has captured this information, it automatically downloads that information into our Suretrack platform. The highlighted area in yellow you can see are the characteristics of that product, which is very valuable when you're talking about identity preservation. Finally, transportation takes place. Within the IP process, all bins, trucks, etc. are cleaned and inspected prior to transport. The IP crops are stored on the farm until scheduled for transport. This is the best way of preserving value versus market timing. Within AGI Suretrack, the system captures activities around transportation. We can create a contract directly with buyers. We can automatically schedule deliveries, so you don't have to even worry about when is someone going to pick up my grain or when it will be received at the processor. The processor can receive the soybeans at their facility and document that within our system So you can see that path from farm to processor and understand the timing, the locations, and all the traceability events that take place during that. Within AGI Suretrack, contracts can be created which drive traceability from where the product came to and where it is going. Here you can see there's various information within here, number of bushels, characteristics of the product, where it's going, and when it needs to be there. Why be an SSGA member? Known growers. It's a great group of people. Exclusive varieties deliver unique attributes, size, color, composition. Segregated storage, which is very important in the IP process. Controlled cleaning, sorting, and shipment. Documentation and chain of custody. And they deliver products that are ready for manufacturing. So there's no additional work once you receive their product. Why AGI Suretrack? Innovative technology, world-class software and hardware to manage grain and the traceability process. We have the best support in the industry. We not only take your call whenever you need us, we'll be there whenever you want us to be at your site. Everything we do is internal, from software and hardware development to customer service to field service to the sales staff. AGI Suretrack also creates traceability to know where your IP soybeans came from. And that it really is important when you look at the IP process. I want to thank you all for joining today. And don't forget to visit us at the SSGA virtual booth during the show. Thank you.